John, you guys lost Servassier early in the game. Well, what kind of message did you guys have to send to each other? I mean, Servassier stepped up for you guys so many times this year.
Yeah, he's been a great player all year. In many ways, he's the Mike linebacker, so he's the leader of our defense. But the standard doesn't change. We knew Brandon George was going to step up big for us, and he had a great game last week. So I feel like he had a lot of confidence coming into today. And as soon as he came in, I told him, I said, it doesn't change anything. We're going to keep it going. We got the same standards, same expectations, and he did a great job running the defense today.
With the way that Brendan Armstrong was throwing the ball sometimes, was it dizzying at all? Like going back, like it's such a back and forth game.
Yeah, he's a really good quarterback. I got to tip my cap to him. We expected him to play today. We knew that he was going to play, and we knew we were facing a high-powered offense with him in there. He averages a ton of passing yards a game. He's really good at reading coverages, and we found that out throughout the game. We tried to adjust as things went along, especially in our hot coverages. He was looking people off more than what we've been used to all season. So he was a big challenge for us, but today we kind of went with the bend but don't break motto. I think the stop for us in the second half after the interception when we held him to a field goal in the red zone was key for us, and that really gave us momentum and confidence for the rest of the second half.
You talk about bend but don't break. It looked like to me just from up top that it looked like you guys were blitzing less. Was that part of the plan? Was to say, hey, we're going to contain this offense a little bit more than going after and trying to bring all the heat?
Well, we know they had a few key guys that they try to get the ball to. 99's a great player. Zero's a big target, especially in the red zone. But yeah, so they max protect a lot, so we knew it was going to be hard to get after them. We got a couple more sacks than I expected, to be honest. Kalijah and Dez had huge games, and John Morgan as well. So our defensive line was great today, and with a great pass rush, that makes the coverage a little bit easier. So that was key for us.
I kind of asked you about this before the Clemson game, but you're from Pittsburgh. You grew up a Pitt fan. What's today mean to you?
It means a lot to me. This has been a journey for me. 7 years, 5 position coaches, 3 surgeries, 2 schools, and just one why, one purpose. It's never changed for me. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I'd be a starting linebacker on a team that has the chance to win an ACC championship, I would have told you got a better chance of winning the lottery without buying a ticket. That's just, I didn't think I'd be here. I didn't think I'd be playing linebacker. And I didn't think we'd be playing an ACC championship game. So it's really come full circle for me to be here and to, have a chance to compete for an ACC championship for the city that I love and the school that I love. It means the world to me, and I'll be hailing to Pitt for the rest of my life, for sure.
John, take us into the locker room after you guys come in from after the trophy announcement and yourself. Who's the loudest? Like who's going crazy the most in the locker room as you guys are celebrating?
John Morgan's always the life of the party. He's always the loudest. He's always dancing the most. He's always cracking the most jokes. And he brings the energy around the team that's contagious. And I told him that during the game, and he brought that. But we kind of tried to keep it in check as much as we could today. We want to enjoy this for the next few hours, but once tomorrow comes around, we have bigger goals that we're chasing in mind. At the beginning of the season, we won an ACC Coastal Championship, but we want the big one even more. So, this is just a box getting checked on the way to our big goal.
Speaking of moving forward, what does a game like this where you gave up a lot of yards mean to the week coming up? You guys have a lot of things to work on?
Yeah, a lot of things to work on. Obviously, I haven't seen the film yet, but, there's some mistakes. I made a few mistakes today. I think other guys wish they could have a few plays back as well, but I think the biggest thing for us is that we got the win. If we would have lost today, we would have been really disappointed in our defense, giving up a few big plays. That 1 2-play drive killed us when we had a chance to really get some momentum and kind of close out the game. But there's definitely some plays and things we can improve on going forward because we know we got a few big tasks ahead.
John, you mentioned it when Jordan left the stage, but what's it like to be on a team with Kenny and Jordan?
Yeah, great. They provide a lot of momentum for us and pressure for us on defense. Seeing them score touchdown after touchdown, we're like, all right, we need to get a stop and help these guys out. Jordan played a tremendous game today. When that ball was thrown, we thought it was going to be intercepted, his last touchdown. And he snatched it out of the air and made the play of the game for sure. I expect to see that on SportsCenter later for sure.
When you guys are on the field, even before the ball's in the air, I mean, you guys are up 3. It's a big third down. You're thinking like, man, you got to go up against Brendan Armstrong again. what's going through your mind when you see that not only he catches it, but that he breaks loose and scores to give you guys the 2-score lead so that you can go on the field like that?
Definitely a sigh of relief a little bit. You know, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves and think the game's over at that point, but you know, we were expecting to go on the field and get a big stop. So when we went up 2 scores, that took the pressure off of us a little bit, and you know, but we were excited to close the game out the way we did.
It seemed like, you know, throughout the game, there were some times where you guys made some plays. You had 5 sacks, but they were kind of few and far between. But what does it mean to kind of end the game the way you did, getting that stop on 4th down, and maybe, I don't know, just from a feeling standpoint. I mean, the numbers are what they are, but you know, to feel differently, ending the way it did, and having those sort of big moments throughout, like you talked about the field goal throughout.
Yeah, I think it's huge ending on the 4th down stop that we did. You know, when they started to drive, we kind of got that feeling like, oh, here we go again. And then, you know, if we let them score on that drive, then we're going to need to bring the hands team out because they're going to onside kick it, and we got a whole new ball game then. So anything could happen at that point. I think it was huge that we got that stop there. I know they drive the whole way down and they kind of stalled out in the red zone there. And I remember telling the guys, I think it was 3rd and 2, I said, you know, we got 2 more downs to win this thing. And we did. So we stopped them on 3rd and 4th down there, and it was huge. And it was a big confidence boost for us going forward, knowing that, you know, we did our part to close the game out. And, you know, it's always great when you end the victory formation, so that was fun.
Back-to-back weeks, you guys as a defense have had to close it out on 4th down right in front of the student section. What's that environment like when you're playing in that moment, and then afterwards when you make it happen?
Huge. Shout out to the student section. They've been great all year. You know, I've been coming to a bunch of Pitt games throughout my whole life, and I've never seen the student section like it was this year. They were great. They give us a ton of energy, and we hope they'll be in full support in Charlotte in a couple weeks. We got to take care of next week first with Syracuse, but you know, we hope a lot of students will be making the travel. And we thought there weren't going to be a ton of students this week because, you know, guys leaving for Thanksgiving break. So, I mean, a lot of students I know already went home. So, you know, big credit to them for coming out strong, and that helps us a ton. I mean, I tell Eric Halleck, because he's giving me the calls all the time, I tell him, I got to hear you. I got to hear you. And, you know, they're loud, so I'm turning around a lot of times and asking for the call again because sometimes I can't hear them. They're so loud.